Hey guys, Matt here. I just want to do a short and quick video about anxiety self-help programs. Um, if you haven't been to my site, I'll give you just a little history about me. For about 10 years, I battled with severe anxiety and panic attacks and subsequent episodes of major depression, to the point where I was very down and actually suicidal at points. I'm happy to say I've had a complete, wonderful recovery, and things are going very well to this day. I've been completely happy, healthy, and everything for about 5 years now, and stable. The most important thing there. So basically, I'm just making this video to kind of to invite you to my website, anxietyhelpforlife.com, but also specifically here just to go over some of the self-help programs available on the market, because I spent literally thousands of dollars over a 10-year period doing all that, and had a lot of success and also a lot of regression as well. But it has all turned out for the best. So first of all, I want it to be a message of hope, and just for you to understand that I got through it, thousands of others have got through it, and if we can get through it, you can too, okay? It's just a matter of knowing what you're going through and then how to manage those symptoms and then eventually eliminate those symptoms, okay? Whether it be for anxiety, depression, different approach for each. However, there are strategic ways to overcome both of them. Okay, you just got to get your hands on the right information. So I would point you to my site, anxietyhelpforlife.com. But in this particular session, I want to talk about self-help programs, because if you watch TV or search the internet, you're going to find a bunch of programs that promise, it seems almost like a scam, and some of them are, okay, but it says, learn this technique and eliminate your anxiety forever, okay, and stuff like that, or this particular exercise, mental exercise, or these secrets will eliminate your anxiety forever. And I'm just here to tell you that that is most likely 99.9% going to be a false claim, okay? Now, that particular program might have some good things in it, but anything that says it's going to eliminate anxiety, quickly and easily with, no work on your part is really just a lie, okay? So I'm not trying to discourage you. I just want to let you know that it takes some work on your part, okay? And it might seem tedious at first, and like you don't want to deal with it, and but what it does do is when you work to eliminate your anxiety, you actually grow a lot personally, okay? Because the anxiety has to do with many different things, okay? Part of it is the way you see the world, okay? So that's my little spiel for now. You can go to my site for all sorts of information. But I want to talk about specific programs right now, okay? So for me personally, I did a lot of different things. Like I said, I spent thousands of dollars in a 10-year period. Probably the best one I did was Attacking Anxiety and Depression by Lucinda Bassett. That's advertised on TV, the Midwest Center. And that's a very good program, and I think it's fantastic, and it's reasonable in terms of its approach, and doesn't make any outrageous claims, and it says things as they are, okay? And that's like an audio, it was cassettes back when I used it, but now it's CDs, and that is a workbook along with it, to help you work through various chapters and work on certain skills. So that's the thing, you got to learn coping skills and coping methods, okay? Whether it be a mental technique, pretty much mental techniques, okay, on how to cope with your anxiety and learn to diffuse it before it turns into something like a panic attack or just really bad anxiety with depersonalization, derealization, etc. Okay. So basically, I guess what my main point is, with any program that you do purchase, just go in with the understanding, because this is what almost really hurt me bad. It almost kind of ruined me, was I didn't understand. I kind of bought into the hype, okay? And I went in with the expectation on certain programs that it would be somewhat easy, okay? And I would learn, some secret information I didn't know, and then subsequently I would be fine and I wouldn't have to feel the emotion of anxiety ever again. Now, anxiety is a human emotion, okay? It's built in, okay? Now, anxiety disorder is not your natural anxiety. It's really anxiety run amok, anxiety disorder. So that's not good, okay? And that is something you can eliminate, and you can eliminate that forever. It requires a lot of vigilance on your behalf, okay? But you can do it. It takes incorporating the skills you learn when you need to. So I'm kind of rambling here, but my main point is this: go into any program with reasonable expectations, and they might promise you the world, okay? And it might work for a while, okay? But you're going to find, to endure in the long run with something like anxiety, is that no matter how good things are going at any given moment, things can get bumpy, okay? And if you had the belief, like I did actually, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, that my anxiety literally could be banned from my body and my, perceptual state of being and what I felt, what happened to me is I had a great run for about 6 months with the program, And basically, after about 3 or 4 months, I started to hit some turbulence, and I started to feel some minor anxieties. It was becoming very uncomfortable. Okay, not to the point where I was like full-blown depersonalization, derealization, but it was enough to make me get very angry and resentful at the program that I used that said, at least I interpreted it as saying, that I would never have to feel this again. Okay, because I conquered it, so to speak. The main message I'm trying to get across is that you can conquer anxiety disorder, okay? But you have to have a long-term look at this, okay? It's something that's going to come up at times in your life, just because we have anxious events that happen to us in our lives, just through the course of lives, okay? Whether it be getting married, having kids, new jobs, moving, all that kind of stuff, okay? So it's natural to feel some anxiety at that point. The key is learning how to control it so it doesn't take you over, okay, and render you helpless. For me, I was a shut-in for months, okay? I was afraid to actually leave my bedroom. Just a horrible place to be. And I want you to know, if you're there right now, I want to give you hope, because you can not only have the life you once had, but actually have a better life through personal growth and working on the issues as to why you have anxiety in the first place, okay? So there's a ton of different things. If you go to my site, I share my experiences, I give my advice. I talk about certain programs I found on the internet that I think are very good programs, and I recommend them. So I guess my underlying message is, sorry, kind of rambling on a script or anything, just that have reasonable expectations and be kind to yourself, okay? Because basically what I mean by that is you might practice certain skills and notice your anxiety diminishing, but then maybe, after a couple of weeks of progress, you're going to have a day where you just have a panic attack and you feel like you have made no progress, and you're going to feel like, things haven't gotten any better. Continue to practice those skills. When I talk about skills, I'm basically referring to cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, you may have heard of it. There's a lot of different techniques within that genre. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, other things that I talk about on my site. You'll see in a lot of personal self-help programs. But don't get discouraged, okay? I know it's easy to get discouraged. My cycle was the anxiety. When it got too much for me and I got too discouraged, I would eventually just essentially give up and fall in depression. And I mean like major depression where I didn't want to live anymore, okay? And it's a terrible place to be, okay? But here's the deal. My life's better than I ever could have expected it to be, where I was and where I am now. And it's all due to personal growth, okay? And I'm not a big New Age, self-help guy like that. I've done, listened to a lot of New Age spiritual teachers and all that, and they have some good advice, although I totally disagree with their spiritual positions. That's not the point here. But what I'm saying is, if you don't give up and you sincerely practice some fairly simple skills, they're simple but they're not easy. There's simple steps to follow and simple mental exercises to do, simple breathing techniques. A matter of being consistent, internalizing these skills, and at first it seems very tedious, but after a certain point you begin to internalize them and you actually change your whole thought process, okay? And you're able to stop anxiety kind of in its tracks before it consumes you, okay? So I know I've done a lot of rambling on, but I want it to be a message of hope, okay? Because literally thousands of people have gone through this. It was especially scary for me when I first had my first panic attack and my first experiences of depersonalization and derealization, which I'll talk about in other videos. It's just when you feel like, like an outside force is taking over your body and just the whole situation feels surreal. Derealization, depersonalization, derealization, just an event feeling surreal, like you're moving in slow motion compared to everybody else, and your balance seems off, and you just it does not feel like the normal reality you experienced before. Okay, so I guess that's it. I really invite you to check out my site, anxietyhelpforlife.com, and I hope this is helpful. But again, just make sure that you have reasonable expectations. Understand, on my site I call it the foundational principle, which is simply this: anxiety is an emotion. It cannot be completely eradicated from your life. It's an emotion just like happiness, sadness, anger, frustration. When it gets out of control, it turns into anxiety disorder. So when these programs talk about eliminating anxiety forever, in a sense that can be true. It's not as simple and easy as it sounds. Eliminating anxiety disorder, yes. The feelings of anxiety, you're always going to have some discomfort, even how well you get, okay? Trust me, it'd be a million times better than where you are right now if you're struggling with anxiety right now. But there's always going to be a minor level. Nothing that should ever interfere with your life or have trouble your relationships or anything like that, okay? Sorry, kind of rambling, but I just wanted to get that out about self-help programs and just invite people to my site, and I'll be doing more videos about all sorts of stuff with anxiety and depression. And all right, till next time.